Hey guys, how's it going? I want to go over a LeetCode problem with you guys here. I actually did this problem twice before. I did it one with Solidity and I did it once with JavaScript. And those were obviously pretty easy here. This one's going to be pretty easy too, but I want to do it in Rust here. And the reason why I want to do it in Rust is because I've actually been teaching myself Rust. I've been learning it, and it's a very cool programming language. Obviously if you use something like Python or JavaScript, it sometimes it gets you to where you want to be for a very basic script or a very basic program. If you want to, sometimes it gets you there faster. But I believe when you start to learn, you start to peel back the layers to a more low or mid-level programming language, you start to learn more. It's kind of like if you go to a store, sure, you could buy a frozen pizza, throw in the oven, and that pizza is probably readier in faster time and with less effort. But if you take the time to learn how to make the dough, how to make the sauce, how to make the cheese, how to make the toppings, you do all that yourself here, I believe you end up with a better product and a better tasting pizza. So obviously different tools for different things here. If somebody wants to write me out or if I have to write somebody out a script to sort through some data to turn into a JSON object, I'll probably still use Python or even JavaScript for that. But I really do think this is fun to me. I do enjoy coding. So the more I can teach myself about this stuff, the more fun it is to me. Excuse me, my telegram is going off here. But anyways, from here, we're given two numbers here, and we want to return the sum of these two numbers here. One of the things that we have to keep in mind here is that we have both positive numbers and negative numbers from here. I actually don't know how it starts off here, so I just removed some of the code. Obviously, I saw this off camera, but we're going to say pub fm for function is going to be sum, and we're going to say two parentheses from here, and let's open up some curly braces. Now, since we're returning something, the way that we return something in Rust here is a dash and then a greater than sign, which makes an arrow. And we want to say what we want to return. In this case, since we're adding two integers together here, we're going to be returning I32. And this I32 is an assigned integer of 32 bits in length. If you're not familiar with binary bits here, that's for another video. The time that would take me to explain that would probably be way too long here. So an I32 versus a U32. A U32 is an unsigned integer, and I32 is a signed integer here. So since we're dealing with negative numbers, and this is why it's important to read the constraints here, we want a signed integer. Now, since we're taking in two arguments from here, we want to say num1 and num2. Now, this might work here, but what you see a lot of times in Rust is declaring these variables as types here. So we can both be static. It can be dynamically declared as a type of variable, but we also want to make this, how do I phrase this right? We want to make this statically type too. So it adds a little more clarity to our code, and this kind of, I believe it results in less errors down the line here. Anyways, since we want num1 and num2 to be type of I32, we're going to say colon and then I32 right there. And of course, I'm not the best programmer in Rust here, so I might be a little bit foggy in my explanations, but I feel like when I verbalize what I'm thinking inside my head, by doing these videos, I feel like it helps me learn as I teach. So hopefully you guys are learning, but I know I'm learning too. But anyways, from here, so now we have this function skeleton from here. We need to give it some information about it, because right now it's not doing anything, of course, here. All right, now in other programming languages, you see the keyword return, and there's ways to do that in Rust here, but really the most simple way is just say num1, plus num2. Now in this case from here, we don't want to put a semicolon. We're going to leave the semicolon out of this from here. Let's go ahead and run this. And it's speeding up. Cool. We have 2 and 5 there, looking like it's good for the first case. The second case, it's looking good there too. Now, another way you might see it done like return, and then a semicolon from here. Just another way to write out the explanation here. If we run it this time, we can see that it's still working. So either, in this case here, really either one works. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. And we can see it now. This is, it looks like that it passed all the test cases from here. I can't drop it down, but that's okay here. It looks like something's off with this information from here. Really, this information I can never get quite accurate. Even if I run the same code again, sometimes it's different. But either way here, we have the correct solution. I'm actually going to go back to my code. Where's my code? Description. There we go. And I'm going to just make this a little more simple. I'm going to remove return and the semicolon. And I'm going to submit this one more time here. And now we can see that, again, it's accepted and we're good to go. All right, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. It definitely helps me out with the videos. And I will see you guys in the next video.